Man, you guys startled me. I didn't even know you were there. Maybe next time at least knock before you come in. But now that you're here, welcome to the garage, guys. But you're gonna have to get out of my way. I kinda got stuff to do. What kind of stuff? Well, for one, I gotta finish this custom tabletop. We actually started talking about this project almost a full year ago. I think late December we started talking about it, and it is early December right now. And that is all on me. I just been putting it off and putting it off. But I kind of got some reasons. So if you guys stick around, I kind of want to go over those reasons. So the main reason this wasn't getting done in a timely manner is I was never quite comfortable with how to go about building this thing. I am just not sold on this being a functional dining room table. And the reason I say that, we are friends with the clients, and probably every couple months or so, we go over there and have dinner with them. It is a fairly large dining room table at almost 4 foot wide and almost 8 foot long. Now the table they currently have is a nice solid wood top, and it works great. It is super heavy duty. It's not in perfect condition, so you don't have to be overly careful when you're eating with a bunch of people. If a little scratch happens here and there, that's okay. But for whatever reason, they don't like that table and they want to try something else. So I'm kind of replicating the size here. And what happened about a year ago, I made a custom art piece for a client of mine. It was like a custom wooden mountain landscape, just a really cool looking piece. And they came up with the idea that that might be cool as a tabletop. So they asked me if I could replicate that and make it into a table. And initially I thought, heck yeah, that sounds like an awesome idea. But here's the thing, I'm not sure I can make it as functional as their current dining room table. This will be pretty cool because it's kind of all made out of stripped wood and it's different width, different thickness, so it'll kind of have a 3D look. Of course, the obvious problem of having a 3D, different thickness wood, well, it's not going to be a flat tabletop. So that's where my first issue started happening. I was trying to figure out how to make a functional tabletop, but yet keep a 3D look. So the initial plan was build this out like a traditional big piece of art, like I would build any kind of piece of art, and maybe then custom a big piece of glass to go over the top of all that. After sitting on the glass top idea for a while, I could just never get completely comfortable with that idea. But I was also advised by the clients they didn't want a resin finish either. So glass seemed like the only obvious choice. Now as I kept slacking on this project, months and months went by, they eventually said they were fine with the resin finish. And when I first heard that, I'm like, cool, I think that might be a solution to my problem here. But again, the more I sat on that, I'm still not 100% comfortable with that either. You see, I'm not that familiar with doing the resin pour kind of stuff, but I'm assuming you want a good, solid, perfectly flat surface to work off of. And again, where I'm at in this project, that is another issue I'm having. I'm having a hard time trying to keep my top here perfectly level all around. My original plan for this top, I was going to use like a 1/4 inch Luan and build a metal frame underneath it so that it would be perfectly straight and level. Again, never 100% comfortable on that. I bought that piece of Luan, cut it out, and set it up as my tabletop. And the more I looked at it, the more I wasn't liking it. So fast forward, I went and I found a thicker piece of plywood to use as my tabletop base. Again, trying to keep these things straight is very difficult. Of course, I searched out, I found a straight flat piece of plywood, or so I thought. You know, give it time and stuff starts to warp on you. So now I've been fighting this tabletop a bit. It's not wanting to stay perfectly flat. I got it pretty damn close, but again, not 100% perfect. And like I said, I'm not 100% familiar with the pour resin process. I'm not sure how level that should be. But again, even if we went with a glass top, I'm assuming it's got to be pretty darn close to perfect. And even if we figured out one of those processes, maybe the poured resin or the glass tabletop, I'm still not sure it will be as functional as the current table that the clients are using now. And as far as I know, they like to entertain and have people over. To me, you want a good, solid, usable table. Is having a large piece of art, maybe in a poured resin finish, or with the glass top going to be functional? That I don't know. And the current table out there, it has a big solid metal frame around it. I tried using that, but for some reason it wouldn't work. I can't remember why. And I was going to kind of replicate metal under here. Even as early as last week, I was at the store looking for metal. But even looking at that base that I built earlier for the table, I got a lot of cross members on there. So I don't think the metal frame was going to help it any extra than what I already have. Which is this, guys. This is the table base I have. I got all these cross members on here. So I got a lot of place to screw that top down to. Hey guys, it's really snowing out here. You gotta go check this out. Hold on. Woo! That's fun stuff, right? It's fun in early December. After January, I'm ready for this stuff to be over with. Hey guys, sorry about the noise. The heater kicked in. So what is my next plan of attack? I'm just gonna go ahead and build it like I would a large art piece. And we will get that far with the project, and then we can reanalyze everything. And worst comes to worst, it's just a cool big piece of art. But hopefully we can make it work as a table, make the clients happy, and if we can pull it off, it will be one freaking awesome table, I can tell you that much. I might as well show you what we got so far, guys. We got the 45 corners on the trim pieces. These are all custom made. I got the black painted surface here. I paint it black because after all, we are using wood. Wood expands and contrasts, and sometimes you will see through the seams. And if that happens, if it's black behind it, you will not see it. Or it will be much harder to see. Got the frame screwed through the corners. Of course, everything from underneath. See the screws there. We have these boards screwed into the bottom. Why did I do that? Because again, this plywood likes to cup on me. I'm trying to keep it as straight as possible. And even with this board screwed onto here underneath, it still has a slight bow on this side. But this side here is perfectly straight. So almost everything is perfectly straight, except this one little end is giving me a little grief. You can see the frame here is 3/4 boards I custom made out of pine, I believe. It's been a little bit. And we have some, I believe, 5/8 plywood. Sorry, it's a bit dark out here, but you can see the table base that we have going. Looks pretty cool. And of course, all the cross members I already showed you guys. And that is where we're at. The next step is I want to get some sort of a layout so I have an idea of what I'm going to do inside this frame. And for that, guys, I bought some poster board. I didn't know how many sheets I needed. I could either go this way, or should I go this way? I don't know if I bought enough either. Let's see what happens. I might not have bought enough. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, there should be plenty here. If I'm being honest, usually I don't do layouts like this. I just wing it and go for it. But I kind of want to replicate that past art piece I was talking about. I will drop a picture of that so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Here we go. And I just bought enough, it looks like. I will cut this in half to fill that in there. I will tape that all together. And then I have a little something I can draw on. So there it is. Time to lay this thing out. I will now use that photo and kind of use that to guide me on my layout here. I don't want to completely replicate that, but it's going to be pretty close. Obviously the lumber and stuff like that is all going to be different as well. So it'll definitely be a custom piece here. But that's the next step, guys. Gibson, hey, you want some free pets? Free pets, Gibson. Come on, buddy. Come get him. There you go. The story of Gibson the cat. He was an outside cat for almost a couple years. For the first year and a half, we would see him at a far distance walking around the house. Then one day, we brought home famous Eddie, Eddie the pug. And that same exact day, this cat came up right by Eddie. For some reason, he had a little connection to Eddie. And from that time, he started sticking around the house pretty close. But he was still an outdoor cat. He lived almost 2 winters outside even after that. I eventually made him a box, put it up front with like a heating pad in it, and he would use it on occasion. And we're probably pushing, he might be pushing almost 2 years now in the shop. Only a year on this backside, but it got so cold one December a couple years ago, I couldn't leave him out anymore. So I cleaned out a section up front of the garage. It's still not the warmest up there, but it usually stayed mid-50s in there throughout the coldest part of the winter. So Gibson lived up there for a good portion of a year, year and a half. And I think maybe Gibson came back here, man, almost a year ago. Now he's got it made. It's about 70 in here all winter. Maybe not this low to the ground. It gets pretty chilly down here by the concrete, but he's got it pretty good, considering where he came from, considering where he could have ended up. But there's one problem with that. This side of the garage is Rocket's side of the garage. That is our other cat. Rocket, you awake? You sleeping? Say hello to everybody. This is Rocket's garage. He's been in here like 13 years or something like that. And Rocket likes being a solo cat. So he still doesn't want anything to do with Gibson. I feel pretty bad because Rocket stays up here probably more than he should, because he doesn't want to go out and about down here. And Gibson is kind of opposite. He doesn't seem to have any problems with Rocket, or of course, like I said, our pug. Of course, the heater kicks in. All right, guys, you can kind of see the lines. It's hard to really see what it is, but you can see we got this all laid out on this white paper. And in the end, I just kind of wanted to see what it was going to look like, and everything here is going to work. So I'm probably just going to take this off and draw the same exact thing right onto the table. Look at these pretty little mountains. But that's all we're going to do for today. We will take this off and transfer all these measurements to the table tomorrow. And then after that, we can actually start laying boards on this thing. Maybe not the most exciting video today. If you guys made it this far, what the heck is wrong with you guys? And if you did make it this far, I appreciate it. I'm trying to add more art content on my channel here. And today I probably did more blabbing than actually get any. Here comes the heat. Darn it. And of course, when I try ending the video, the heater kicks in. But anyway, guys, hopefully the next video we will have some progress going and you will see this take shape. But until then, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. And we will see you next time.